I do mean everything. The secret wife and kids, the attempted takeover of my job, the cheating on me, the lying to me, the blackmail, the stalking. I still would never wish death on Gary or any man. But he wasn't always a monster. I try to pinpoint the moment where he went from almost Mr. Perfect to something else.
Yeah, at this point, the writers might as well just spell it out or have Andi say it. It's clear that this woman still loves Gary. I just feel like it's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt within episode 3 where this woman says, you know that feeling of relief I had when Gary, I saw him on the floor with that knife in his chest? It was really short because then all of a sudden I began thinking of, I can't imagine a world without Gary in it. And that to me solidified that not only does Andi still have feelings for Gary, but we're going right back to like season 1 and 2, where anytime it seemed like Andi had moved on, it's like not even 1 or 2 episodes and she's right back to being like, well, even though I caught Gary in a lie, or this, that, and the third, he isn't all bad. There was a time where he was nice, and maybe I'll give him a And then Danny tried to be the voice of reason, like, yo, I'm the one smoking, but Andi, are you on something right now? Are we forgetting everything? Well, no, he wasn't always. And here's the moment that solidified it for me. I just keep trying to pinpoint when he turned into that monster. Like, despite the secret wife and the kids and the attempted hostile takeover of the law firm and the stalking, he wasn't always like that. And I'm trying to pinpoint when did this happen? No, you're thinking. I'm like, you're just going to completely ignore the fact that you had a 3+ month relationship with Jordan. And I said this in another video where I talked about, it was pretty much a rant video about, like, why are these girls all of a sudden, well, minus Danny, why are these girls all of a sudden feeling some kind of way about Gary potentially dying? Like, yeah, if he died, it'd be awful. Like, wow, I mean, yeah, I'd feel some kind of way. Man, F that. He gone. Let him go. Who said it at the beginning of the episode? Okay, first of all, I know Sabrina and her airheaded optimistic self said, wow, this is romantic. I mean, think about it, guys. I mean, Andi was willing to do anything to save Jordan, even marrying Gary. And I'm thinking to myself, and then didn't Danny say, like, well, Gary's dead, right? Meaning that at this point, you and Jordan can ride off happily ever after. Actually, Gary's still alive. Wait, what? And now it's like, honestly, and I remember saying this a while ago, but I believe that Andi is being portrayed as dumb, but I don't think she's that dumb. And I know this sounds weird, but I think at the core, she is a willing participant in allowing this Gary crap to drag out. And I'm talking about season 6B, by not telling the feds or anything about the blackmail, because I'm like, part of me feels like she wants this to happen. I feel like she wants to marry Gary, because when you have like 25+ characters saying, Andi, what is wrong with you? And like, she has every opportunity to tell people, hey, Gary's blackmailing Jordan. He's threatening Jordan in order to avoid being married. I feel like look, Jordan seems like a nice dude. Put the actor aside in terms of his lack of chemistry with KJ Smith, but let's just talk about the character of Jordan. And let me put it this way, I can relate to Jordan in some ways. I am boring. I have been described as boring by a number of women before. That's because I focus on my grind. I'm a homebody. I don't go out much. I just make my money, stay to myself. I understand. Look, it's been 7 years since I've been working for myself from home. I've had plenty of years to do self-evaluation. I have been to therapy before. I am completely aware that I have butchered potential relationships due to my lack of a desire to go out and do things. This is true. I've had my own evaluations and professional evaluations, so I know it's a fact. And thinking about, like, dang, like, I fumble. Like, this girl, we hung out a few times, and instead of going out to dinner, I had to edit videos. And like, looking back, I could possibly be married right now if I had gone out once or twice instead of saying I had to do this. But at the same time, I'm working for myself. My channel wasn't as big as it is now, and I had to put in the work to make the money. But, you know, it's just one of those things. Everything happens the way it's supposed to. But yeah, I do look back and think, there were some moments where I'm like, she got away because I didn't want to get out because I had to do this, that, and third. But in any case, I think about how Jordan, when you compare the relationship that they had to the one that she had with Gary, it's uneventful. It's like these women, not just Andi, they thrive off the drama. Like when they have a good man, when Danny had Preston, when Karen had Aaron, when I don't want to say Calvin because it was just weird between him and Sabrina, but when Andi had Jordan, they don't know what to do with a good man because they're so used to drama and crap. They're so used to it. They're used to the arguments, the makeup sex, the betrayals, the underhanded stuff. So Jordan is a boring guy compared to the excitement and unpredictability of what Gary brought to Andi's life. And I stand on that. If you go back to season 7, episode 1, I remember saying, I think Andi's putting on a show. I mean, Gary was just written to be completely rude, disrespectful, because I think deep down he knew Andi's lying. Like the whole thing with Jordan, like the lovey-dovey crap, it's all a show to piss him off, to get under his skin. And then you could just tell by how elitist and smug and bougie Andi was being. How come her hair wasn't long like that when we were together? How come she didn't cook when we were together? It's like that whole thing is like when when somebody break up and it's like you look at your ex like, yo, she's slimmer than when she was with me. Well, it was like she did a complete 180, like an extreme makeover. Like she didn't look like that when we were together. What the hell is going on? You feel some kind of way. Like how dare they be happy and I'm miserable. But at the end of the day, it's because Gary was so used to the cycle and he knows that Andi's putting on a show. And despite how much he did the investigating, it's like, yeah, Penelope, we're going to work together and we're going to get Gary out of our lives forever. But at the same time, I think she doesn't want that. It's all a sick, twisted game. And I think that Andi is indeed still in love with Gary. So when we get to the next episode, when she's finally in the hospital room with Gary and we see her looking all sad like she's about to cry in the trailer, I think she's about to cry or attempt to cry because for the past like 2 seasons, I don't know what it is, but Andi can't get a realistic tear to go down her cheek. It's all so I just feel like she's probably going to start talking to Gary like, despite everything, I was so mad at you when you made me marry you and, this, that, and third. But then when I saw that knife for a moment, I felt relief. But then I just started to think, I can't see myself in a world without you. I love you, Gary Porters. And then that's when he starts to flatline or some shit. But that's what's going to happen because Jordan is boring and Gary is exciting. And at the end of the day, that's what she wants. So I think that the writers are going to do this bull crap where we're going to be right back to Gary and Andi, which solidifies I don't think Gary's dying, unfortunately. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll talk to you in the next video. And no, this video wasn't me being like, hey, I want to talk about my own life to get it out there to, be therapy for me. No, I'm just talking like in terms of I can relate to the Jordan situation of being the boring guy. But when the girl who I quote unquote fumbled went out with the dude who was more exciting, it's kind of I guess you could say gratifying, and you can call me an awful person when I see that some of these girls, they've gotten divorces because the exciting guy that they opted to go out with rather than me, who was what's the saying? Hey, I understood the assignment of I needed to put in the work to get my channel off the ground. Well, that person they went for cheated on them. One of the girls I know that, yeah, you're nice, but you're too nice. And then they went out with another dude. Dude cheated on her while she was pregnant with baby number 2 and they're separated. And I'm just looking like, I guess, what's that saying? Like, rejection is God's protection. Yeah, in some cases that's true. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk about in this video. So like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.